And you can hear all of that as I'm trying to tap unamplified.
Right.
So I think that actually developed my strength pretty well because I'm having to tap so hard just to hear what I'm actually playing. So yeah, I did that a ton at Berkeley. And then I did some more. I haven't played this one for a while. Let's see how it goes. It's I'm harmonizing.
Okay. Okay, Charles, explain how you're playing. You're playing this hand, but the harmony note is on a different string. Can you just do it slow so people can see?
Yeah. So it starts off. So
in a tenth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so these are in tenths here.
And then you just go the whole way up in tenths.
That's a great exercise to practice.
Yeah.
Okay, so when would you ever use that in a song? You could use that in a song.
That specific, it's pretty rare that I'll do that exact movement, just like going up and down in tenths. Although, I guess in some of my more solo-y stuff, I do that a little bit. But what I do more is just kind of the general concept of hand independence.
Yes.
So that's just one exercise that gets you more into hand independence.
Speaking of hand independence, you're a great funk player too. What are some of the things that you do to practice that?
I have specific slap exercises that I practice, which obviously there's a lot of slap in funk. I don't do too many like basic slap exercises anymore. Like I've actually been trying to get better at double thumbing recently.
Okay.
And
give an example of what that would be.
So like a basic double thumb exercise, I actually kind of wrote this one myself. It's nothing special, but it's just like literally getting you into double thumb.
Okay, so explain double thumbing, because you do an upstroke in there. That's where the double happens.
Exactly.
Is that like a Victor Wooten thing? Was he who actually came up with that idea? Or is that your idea?
No, it's not my idea. I feel like anytime I try and figure out who came up with something, there's always someone in the comments who's like, "How you forgot this guy or whatever." So I don't know if Victor Wooten came up with it. But I do think he kind of popularized it, especially in bass, in the context of bass. That's definitely where I found out about it.
Okay, what would be an extreme version of something like that?
There are songs I play that are not my songs that have some crazy double thumb, like Power. Like that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I tend not to do like as much of the really fast, just crazy stuff when it comes to double thumbing.
Charles, that was crazy fast double thumbing stuff right there. So when you're working on something for a video, right, how do you come up with ideas?
I generally try my best to kind of let the ideas come naturally. I tend to not go into a video thinking like, I'm gonna make this the craziest, like funkiest slap bass solo ever or something like that. I prefer to kind of listen to the song and be like, okay, what's this song asking for? Like I did that with Get Lucky, the Daft Punk song.
Yeah.
So I listened to that and I was like, well, clearly there's gonna be some like funky slap bass in here. But then I also heard Voyager by Daft Punk. I don't know if that one, it's got like this kind of crazy arpeggiated pattern. And I thought that would be a really cool way that I can make it a little bit more unique, a little bit more my own, rather than just doing like the vocal melody and making it as like slaptastic as possible. I thought if I could have this kind of like cool ethereal tapping interlude, that would make it more my own. So that's kind of how I tend to do covers. I tend not to have too much of an agenda going into it. I just see what comes to me.
And how long will it typically take you to kind of come up with a video idea and then execute it?
Coming up with the video idea is always the hardest part.
Right.
I don't know if you've found that as well.
Every day.
Yeah, it's hard to just, keep that train going. So that might be the part that actually takes the longest, like the single part that takes the longest.
Will you just type ideas on your phone?
Yeah. I've got a list of like 100 ideas.
Okay.
And the problem is the YouTube landscape's constantly changing. So like
Okay.
90
Explain
of
that to me. How's that? What do you mean?
Well,
No, for actually, seriously, from your perspective, how is it changing?
well, right now it's shifted much more towards shorts.
Yep.
At least for music content.
Yep.
And that obviously has a huge impact on the kind of content that people make. So I'd say there's a lot more kind of stripped down and raw content now on YouTube than there was before. I think people are looking a bit more for authenticity, whereas before they were quite happy to see very edited stuff. And you see that in the style of the thumbnails. The thumbnail
Yes.
style on YouTube is much more realistic. I'd
Yeah.
say it used to be like crazy edited thumbnails.
Photoshopped.
Yeah.
You know, every airbrush, Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Beastified.
Right. And Mr.
things.
Beast still does that style.
Right.
And it seems to be working pretty well for him.
What is a beginning to end video of yours? Like, how long does it take to come up with something beginning to end?
The whole process takes about a week. And that's kind of when I've already got the video idea in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Now my videos are pretty much all just straight up music.
Yeah.
I do some little bits of comedy here and there.
Yeah.
And I still like include funny elements in the videos, but it's pretty focused on the music. That's how I like it. So I kind of start coming up with the musical ideas right at the beginning of the process, like just recording. I often actually start with the most kind of, if I think there's going to be a really crazy part of the song, I start with that so that then I can relax and be like, all right, I've got the crazy part out of the way. Now it's all just like easier stuff. I do the bass parts and the drum parts kind of at the same time. Then I start adding all the other instruments if there are other instruments. Practice it for maybe a day. So that first part's maybe like a 3-day process.
Okay.
And then like practice it for a day, film it, and then edit it the next day, do the thumbnail.
And you do your
all
own
that.
editing?
Yeah.
What do you do it in? Final Cut or Premiere?
Final Cut.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my wife does my thumbnails.
Nice.
Yeah. She's really good at it.
Do you have a background in graphic design or anything, or no?
She was a painting major
Okay.
at college, and she's good at Photoshop.
How do you know when you have a good idea?
I think I have a pretty good instinct for it.
Okay.
Like usually if I think it's going to do really well, it at least does pretty well.
Okay.
There have been times where I've been so pumped about a video and then it gets like a 10 of 10. Like I'm sure you've experienced that.
Yeah, all the time.
It's so disheartening.
Yeah.
Because I'm like so excited about it and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Okay, so just for context, when he said 10 of 10, YouTube rates your last 10 videos against each other.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, the ranking at 10 of 10 is the worst performing video you've had out of your last 10.
It's so cruel.
But,
It's such a
but
cruel
it's
system.
cool, but I'm always like, well, some video has to be 10 out of 10.
Yeah, true. And once you've had enough bad videos, then it's easier to get the 1 of 10 again, you know?
Well, some videos just have a natural appeal to more people, so there's nothing you can really do. But if you're working on a particular piece and you spend a lot of time on it and it doesn't perform like you expect it to, it can be disheartening.
Yeah. I put a lot of effort into every single video that I make. And so, yeah, it can be disheartening when it's a 10 of 10, but it's something I've definitely got used to over the years. Like, it really used to bother me when I first started out on YouTube. Like, I would actually get pretty angry. But it's just, like you said, there are some videos that don't appeal to as wide of an audience.
Yeah.
And if you focus entirely on getting 1 of 10 all the time, you're going to stop doing what you actually enjoy doing.
That's right.
You're going to be constantly putting what, like, the mass appeal wants over what you actually want to do. And that's not the reason that anyone gets into YouTube in the first place.
Right.
And so you got to have that balance. Like, I make videos now sometimes where I know it's going to be like a 10 of 10. And then when it is a 10 of 10, I'm like, cool.
Do you think about the fact that, I mean, you're basically at 2 million subscribers. That's a massive amount of people. And you have videos that get millions and millions of views. Do you ever think about that, or you just kind of are used to it at this point?
I don't think about it a huge amount.